Man, another shocker. Another shocker. Unbelievable. Wow. Wanted to get in just a little bit of Heisman talk in here. Big time shock to me. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I also want to talk about the national championship real quick. Ohio State having some COVID issues. So maybe it's a good thing that the College Football Playoff Committee decided to have a makeup date just in case. So there is a fallback for the national championship, and that will be January 18th. As of right now, and I was listening to Alabama radio earlier, so this is about 5 hours old as far as the latest that I've heard. As of right now, Ohio State's still giving it a go for the national championship. They are having issues, COVID issues, and it looks like one of their major groups of players. I don't know which one. I don't know if it's offensive line, wide receivers. I don't know the specifics. All I know is one major group in their football team is having COVID issues, and if they can't field enough players in that group, they won't be able to play. So there is a backup date, January 18th. The interesting thing was on Alabama radio. Alabama was saying, if they can't play on the date that was decided, then they just need to give the championship to Alabama. I was like, that's pretty bold, but I can't totally disagree. I mean, I would think Alabama's going to win anyway. Exactly, Sports Pride. Or they just scared to play Alabama with Waddle back? Yeah, but I'm not going to go in that direction because you get lambasted on the internet if you say anything that could remotely suggest that you're making light of COVID. That's not what we're doing with COVID. Possible push date for the national championship. Push it from January 11th to January 18th. That's 1 week. But like I said, from what I heard on Alabama radio today, Ohio State is giving it a go as of right now. But there's 6 days between now and, well, not 6. We're at 5 now. 5 days from now till the national championship. So a lot can still happen. They could have more cases. They could have more contact tracing, all that good stuff. So we'll see if the national championship happens on time or at a later date. I still think it's going to happen either way, whether they do it on the 11th or the 18th. That I'm not really concerned with that. I'm just concerned with, on time. I'd like to see it on the 11th as scheduled. Don't forget to hit the like button. That always helps. If you're not a subscriber, put out videos every single day. Hit the subscribe button. I do lives pretty often as well. It's pretty interactive. I have a great subscriber base. We're not to 1,000 yet. We're getting there, but the subscribers that I do have are very interactive, and you'll fit right in. So hit the subscribe button. The other thing, the big thing, the Heisman Trophy. Wow, Javonte Smith, wide receiver for Alabama, the first non-quarterback to win it since 2015, when the running back for Alabama, Derrick Henry, won it. And the first wide receiver since Desmond Howard back in 1991 won it. That's crazy. I thought there were several wide receivers between then and now that should have won it. I think Randy Moss should have won it. I know he was a sophomore and that hurt him, but dadgum, he was a freak. Yeah, that's one wide receiver that happened between Desmond and Javonte that I think should have won the national championship, or not the national championship, the Heisman Trophy. Randy freaking Moss. I mean, he was a freak of an athlete. He had the stats to back it up. It was the simple fact that he was a sophomore that hurt him. This, you guys got to remember, this was like 20 years ago. This wasn't, now a freshman probably can win it legitimately. Back then, you pretty much had to be a junior to win it. There were some outside, instances, but it was pretty hardcore back then. And Randy Moss being a sophomore, and he was leaving for the NFL after that, kind of hurt him. And Scott says, I called the Heisman winner tonight. Glad it was not a quarterback for once. Yeah, I am too. But I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have Javonte picked as the winner. I thought it was going to either be Kyle Trask or Mac Jones, specifically leaning towards Mac Jones. Javonte was filling in for Waddle. Waddle's going to be back, and he wins the Heisman in a COVID season where he was not supposed to be the main go-to. He has a breakout year and wins the Heisman. It's been a crazy year, and we're not yet to the national championship, but that caps off a pretty strange season and award season. We'll see a national championship that's probably going to be just as crazy. Although with Alabama having Waddle back, that points in the favor of Alabama more and more. There was Sea-Dog, I just saw that. Hey, I painted your sign, sent you a pic just now. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Sweet. Oh, I can't wait. Y'all don't, this guy's good. He fabricated me a sign, made it look great before the paint. He's got it painted. He's going to send it to me. I'm going to hang it in the background, and he will be forever part of my background. Not just here, like even if I move, go to a different studio, whatever, that is going to be forever a part of my background. So I definitely appreciate that, and it looks freaking awesome. I can't wait to look at it after it was painted. So real quickly, because I'm going to head off the bed here in a minute. It's getting late and I got to work in the morning. There was three scenarios that I saw for the national championship. Two of them involve Alabama winning. Okay, so the first one is Alabama elite, which is what Alabama was pretty much the entire season. The Florida, they were a little off, but pretty much elite, versus Ohio State elite, which we only saw against Clemson. So if Alabama's elite, which we saw all season, faces off against Ohio State elite, we only saw against Clemson, I think Alabama wins in a close one. Okay? Alabama's best game versus Ohio State's best game. Alabama wins in a close one. That's the first scenario. The second scenario, Alabama's elite, which is what they've been playing all year, and Ohio State, what we're used to seeing. In other words, all the other games. I would even throw Northwestern in there because Trey Sermon was the only person that did great in that game. Justin Fields did not do good. So, first scenario, Alabama elite versus Ohio State elite. Alabama wins close. Second scenario, Alabama elite, we've seen all year, versus Ohio State, pretty good, but not elite, which is what we're used to. Only the Clemson game was Ohio State elite. Alabama elite, Ohio State pretty good, but not elite. Alabama wins big. Third scenario, Alabama pulls off a stinker and Ohio State plays elite. That's how Ohio State wins. That is the only scenario that I see Ohio State winning. And I'm going to get a lot of blowback for this from Ohio State fans, and probably well-deserved. But in my mind, that's the three scenarios. And the only scenario that I see Ohio State winning is Alabama does not play to their capabilities. I think Alabama's best is better than Ohio State's best. And to be honest with you, we only saw that one game, and that was the Clemson game. If Ohio State plays like they did in all